Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. All that shit you told me, I believe. The smile on your face, the only thing I can read. Let the night back inside my life. It's gonna take more than that to say it right. Yeah.
Y'all check it out, y'all.
Here's a bonus. You heard it before.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Serving that heat. Now turn it up. GCOM Radio.
Better bet I'm living. Better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm living. Better bet I'm good. Fuck good, I'm great. So great, 100. Better bet I'm living. How a nigga always want it. He ain't wanted cash, he ain't wanted rap, he ain't wanted the sun. Now I get the cash, now I get the rap, I don't even wanna front. Look at what I done, jury on my thumb. One mixtape later, I've outlasted my haters with no deal from no major. Funny that you thought I was slipping off while I'm sipping this boss. Never getting lost, following my heart, getting rich from my thoughts. I'm a future boss, loading up the vault, cause I gotta play it smart. 0 days off, living life, you mad, that's your fault, nigga, ayy. Better bet I'm living, better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm living, better bet I'm good. Fuck good, I'm great, so great, 100. Better bet I'm living, how a nigga always want it. Sex God, yes God. And I'm blessed with the best job, loading kush in the backwood. And to be the best artist, gotta get your own trust up. I just lost my father, built my own damn trust fund. Better bet I'm living, having fun while I do it. All of y'all act crazy, most of y'all act stupid. Never had to act up, I go Tom Brady in the clutch. When I go and grip the clutch, wide and whipping through the stuff, nigga. Better bet I'm living, better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm living, better bet I'm good. Fuck good, I'm great, so great, 100. Better bet I'm living, how a nigga always want it.
The hell is this? This supposed to be some kind of music video? Happened to the classics. $500,000 budgets, jet skis, gold necklaces, big booty women. What's Emilio? Whatever the hell the name is. He don't know nothing about no living. I know about living. I was in those videos. Hush. The big videos. We had everything. Big waves, big clothes, big jeans, big jerseys, big women, big budgets. Big women. Look at you. You lost it. This is good work. I like what this Emilio boy's doing. I like it a lot. And you need to get your act together. You're not keeping it 100. You're not keeping it 100, baby. This is nonsense. Rude. Both of y'all like this? Yeah. What do you like about this? It's art. Fault's more like it. Javante! What? Don't talk like that. What I say? Fault? That's what it is? Don't wake up the baby. Sing living.
Better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm living. Better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm living. Better bet I'm good. Better bet I'm good. I'm great.
All right. We are here once again, folks. I am your host, Nova Phoenix, on GCOM Radio, on iHeartRadio. I hope you said that along with me. I said it enough. That was Emilio. I haven't heard from this brother in a while. and that was his song Living. I really liked the video. Y'all should check it out on this channel, and you should check it out on this channel too, because if an artist has made a video, we try to give it as much promotions, cross promotions as possible. Hearing these artists create masterpieces in their own way. So how was y'all's week, man? What is the dealings with y'all's week? Hopefully it was refreshing and new and rediscovering and revitalizing and drab and down and out and painful. I say painful because we need pain. We need struggle, because those are the things that give us the fuel to change our direction, to change our trajectory. Because when things are too comfortable, that's when you settle in the comfort and you don't move. So I'm sure you guys had pain and struggle for this week, and hopefully it was that inspiration to get you off your ass. All right. Yeah, of course, as always, I have to say mine was good and busy and good and busy. And it's all about prepping. It's all about really getting things going with this New York Tech Day thing. Shout out to New York Tech Day. They keep me in the line. They keep shouting me out on Twitter. I was on their newsletter a little bit ago, and they pointed out to one of the shows when I was talking about New York Tech Day, when I first was speaking about it and jumping on board to get the whole thing going for the brand Lyfeblood.com. So they shouted me out again on Twitter. So I'm always gonna reciprocate and show love to them. So yeah, that was a good thing. So what was going on that I've noticed? Oh man, yo, listen. Number one thing that I notice, I see a lot of video and I don't get a chance to talk about it. Sometimes I get wrapped up in a whole lot of things, but I saw this one disturbing video. It was the police that was harassing a young man out of Brooklyn, my hometown, allegedly for smoking weed. Now I hear a lot of different stories that's going around now. The video is making its rounds on the internet. It has gone viral. Some random woman saw it was happening. She pulled out a phone, and you know how it goes down. So supposedly the guy was smoking weed in the park. Other people say he was walking. So you know, all we see was this one cop, this undercover cop in plain clothes, holding this guy against one of the store roll down gates. And and the guy had his hands up saying, you know, what was the crime, what the crimes that I did, what crime I did. So the guy's not saying anything. He's just looking left and right, looking for his backup, obviously, because he was flashing his light to get the attention so they could come. And all this while it was happening within 45 seconds. And the kid kept on asking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And this guy was totally ignoring him, wasn't saying what was the crime, no nothing. And then next thing you know, you had, you know, squad cars, blue and whites, and I think other plainclothes run up on this dude. It was like 7 of them, and they ran up on him, and it was like straight up a Brooklyn beatdown. You thought if you cut to that video to the point where they were all over this dude, you would not know what was going on. You would think you would see some kind of world star beat down that was going, because that was essentially what was happening. I'm like, 7 guys on one dude, and it was totally irrational and unnecessary and just straight up illegal and wrong and criminal. Because I mean, let's say the guy was smoking weed. Didn't we just recently pass a law in New York saying that it's not going to be considered a criminal act and you'll get a citation? So even under that excuse, I'm going to say, even under that, it was way overblown. If it was on because he was smoking weed allegedly or something like that. This goes way beyond trying to do your duty as a cop. This goes way big. This, from the very beginning, it looked like it was intentional. It was spoke about in the squad car. It was spoken about in the precinct. And this young kid was run up on, and they got themselves a Vic. So, of course, I'm going to be following the story. Let's see what happens. It's quite unfortunate what happened to this young brother, man. Yeah. So also the coronavirus is going on, and it's affecting a lot of people. And check this out. It is spreading through New York. It's spreading to Washington State and I think California. It's getting around. You see those cases popping up. There was actually a cruise ship that was supposed to dock in San Francisco. They refused it because they had people that were sick from the coronavirus on the ship. And they said, you're not docking here. And they had to quarantine the people and pretty much the whole ship if you got those people moving around. I think it was confirmed cases at about 20 people with coronavirus. That's crazy. Now, the thing with that, what got me was, you had this woman, there was some sort of a press conference or something or other, media press conference, and a woman, Sarah Cody, that was director of Santa Clara County Public Health Department in California, said in a widely circulated video already that, you know, what to do for people not to put their hands in their mouths and, you know, how to keep from getting coronavirus. The funniest thing happened. The woman that just said not to put your hands to your mouth to keep from getting the coronavirus, she licks her fingers so she can flip through the pages of the report. I'm like, wait a second, you just told people not to put their hands in their mouth. And I know she did not. It was totally reflex action. She done it tons of times. And then to do it right there during with all the video cameras on her and the mics. And I know people in that press conference was like, you just licked your fingers. And I know they was laughing and going about it. And people was smacking their foreheads, the bosses and everybody was like, you just licked your fingers, man. When they saw that video replay, that was crazy. Oh, man, I got a good chuckle out of that. Kendrick Lamar started a new multimedia company called PG Lang with a collaborator Dave Free. He's saying this is going to be a new project where it's going to specialize in music and film and television, art and books and podcasts and all these things that he wants to do. And I think that's a fantastic thing. He says that, what did he say? The guy said, let's see. Here, this is the line. The overarching ambition behind the company to deliver stories, quote, stories that speak to many nations, many races, and many ages. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I can't wait to see how this comes out. And I can't wait to hear the latest Kendrick Lamar album. So that's what's up. Clap your hands for Kendrick. Clap your hands for Kendrick. I can't wait to see how this comes out. I want to hear the new music. I want to see what he's got coming with this new, PG Lang. Yeah, that's what's up. Another congratulations to Black Thought from the Roots. He's going to head off to a off-Broadway play called Black No More. It's a satire based on George Schulier's 1931 novel of the same name. So the whole thing is about a Dr. Junius Crookman as he tries to find solutions to the race problem in America. It's going to be directed by a group artistic director named Scott Elliott. So that's great. I think I never seen him do any acting before or Black Thought. So that's going to be kind of cool. And hopefully it's kind of like, of course, I have a feeling they're going to put rap into the whole play. It's just like, what's that thing? The guy, the Broadway, Washington, George, whatever. Lincoln. I can't remember the guy's name. Latino cat. So you know who I'm talking about. I can't remember the guy. So I guess that's going to be a spinoff for Black Thought doing this thing because he's nice with the lyrics. So I can't imagine him not trying to put in some hip hop into this play. So I know it is. It's Black Thought. So much support and congratulations to Black Thought. And last thing, K Michelle, if you haven't heard, is doing a country album. Now, of course, Water is Wet, right? She is from the South, but she's always done R&B. She said she's always wanted to do a country album because she's from the South. And of course, it's going to have that country twang. I'm sure they're going to have some country guest artists on there. She said a little bit ago that she tried to do this before and she was trying to hook up with some producers in the country field, and she had some issues, and she kind of felt some sort of way because they weren't getting her attention. So I guess she shifted back into R&B, but now she's fully committed to getting this country album done. So let's see, man. I want to see how this goes. It's funny. Where was I? Where I heard this? Man, I can't remember where. Oh, yeah, I was in Brooklyn over the weekend, and I went into Applebee's down on Fulton, and I went to the bathroom, and they were playing a rap country song. I don't know if it is that kid, Lil Nas X. I'm sure I know what he sounds like. This was a total different, and it had a little spin with some country vibe to it intentionally, and I'm like, wow, this is a country rap song. So, hey, is this a new thing that's happening? I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But shout out to Kate Michelle, man. She's a fantastic singer. So you know this country album is gonna be all sorts of soul gonna be up in there. So let's listen to it when it comes out. All right, so the first show, let me take a little swig of my tea. Yes, I gotta keep the voice nice, warm, and supple. Okay, so the first thing about this that I want to talk about is this plastic surgery deal, man. I don't understand it. I do understand it, but yet I don't. Because as much information that is out there, as much where'd that come from? As much as there's messages about self-confidence and body love and acceptance and looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I love myself, all this whole thing, especially with the whole thing with Lizzo, all right? And as much as the message she tries to get out there with loving yourself, I have a hard time dealing with plastic surgery. I mean, you have breast augmentation, rhinoplasty, butt lifts, face fillers, I guess that's Botox, you know, all types of procedures. You hear about the horror stories, you hear about the heaven stories where you have that expert plastic surgeon that does, you know, miracles, and he does this work, and you never know this woman has plastic surgery, or guy for that matter, it goes for both. And you know, I don't know, man, this entertainment business is so funny, man. It is so funny. There's so much pressure, and I do understand it, because you have to keep a certain standard, you know, especially how hard it is for women, you know, because you have to kind of be this image, what they expect you to be on camera for your fans, for the audience, or what Hollywood offices feel you should look like, and then you fight against it for yourself and you say, no, I don't have to do this. I love myself, and you do it, and then all of a sudden the years go by, and then people age, which is a natural thing, and then all of a sudden they say, no, I don't like that, and you get wrinkles, certain things start sagging, certain things don't look right, and they go ahead and do it. And they're, you know, man, I don't get it. You know, some things I understand. Some plastic surgery I get. I really do get it. I do. Trust me, I do. You know, when you want to get a breast reduction, sometimes women's breasts are too big, they have backaches. You know, it's just cumbersome, and it gets in the way, and they get a breast reduction. Okay, fine. And then you have those that have the obvious issues, and I'm like, wow, I got a deviated septum, I got to fix that. Or, you know, so they do a little work so they can breathe better. Certain things don't look right. You know, hey, I get it. Like, for instance, which I do get, like sometimes people have issues with their ears, right? Some, not everyone, but people that feel like their ears are too out, they get a little work in to bring them in. Little nips and tucks that happens in plastic surgery. And there's a show called Nip and Tuck, right? So I get it to a certain extent, but where isn't a line? We cross this line, and it starts out with a little nip, a little tuck, a little here, a little there, but then all of a sudden it starts to become accumulative, excuse me. And then it's like, it becomes, next thing you know, someone, paparazzi takes a picture of you, or you do some, you know, promotions for the next movie you coming out with, and then it's just obvious. It's like, okay, obviously you had work done. So, you know, so where's the line that we draw where we have self-acceptance of our body, and then agreeing that we should do a little nip and tuck, just a little, just to get some things in place, and we move on. You know, because I looked it up, and there's a lot of women that have done work. There's a lot of women that have done, and let's be honest, most of it is towards women. You know, there are men, but most of it is towards women. Look, excuse me, I'm sorry. You got Britney Spears, Cindy Crawford, Tyra Banks. Like Cardi B did some work, and I thought that was all natural. She had a little butt lift. You know, she had a little alien, and it was illegal too, and it was an issue. I thought it was real, but it wasn't real. And Gwyneth Paltrow, Nicole Kidman, and Chrissy Teigen, Courtney, of course, the Kardashians. You know the Kardashians. Damn, man, I saw some before pictures of the Kardashians. I'm like, damn, you look like a totally different woman. Yo, listen, Iggy, Jessica Simpson, Nene Leakes. Yo, listen, man, I'm about to get into it, right? So, I love me some Nene Leakes. Ever since she was on Housewives of Atlanta, I love me some Nene Leakes. She set the show. I mean, she was magic on camera. You saw that connection. I connected with Nene. I was like, that's what's up. But then as the show started going on, I was like, you know, and then I kind of like fell off from the show, and then, you know, I'm like, all right, the magic wore off as far as, you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then I tuned back in, and then I see Nene Leakes. I'm like, wait a second, what is going on? So Nene Leakes got her nose straightened, and it just looks so plastic surgery in general, whether black or white, is when you go overboard. You know the overboard cases where you look like a freaking feline cat. You look like a cat. It's like your face is pulled back, your eyes are pulled back, you see your cheeks. Oh my God. You seen the horrible, what is that woman's name? She's super rich, and she was addicted to plastic surgery. Now she looks like Frankenstein. Her face is so pulled back and stretched and contorted and just mushed beyond. Oh my God. I forgot her name, but it was terrible. Obviously, she has a problem. So, you know, there are some individuals that are addicted to plastic surgery. Those are the ones that are overboard, right? And all the women are like, no, I would never go that far. But then you have those that do the work. And it's like, obviously, it's just too much. It's too much. I think you have to accept yourself. I mean, I know it's hard because you get on camera and you watch yourself and you start tearing yourself apart and being overly critical. And then it's bad enough we have social media and everybody's saying, oh, look at this, look at that. Everybody's going to have an opinion. And then all of a sudden, you can't say it doesn't get in your head. You can't say it, because eventually it starts creeping into your mind that, wow, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. And then age comes in, so now you feel inadequate. And these younger women are coming into the game, they're 2021, and they're supple and sharp and, you know, fresh and vital and all that. Now this is your competition. So when you get to be like 30, 35, you feel you have to keep up, and that's where the pressure is on. That's where you go overboard. And I think, yo, wait a second. Except now you have some women. We are very, what's the word? We're very appearance centric, man, in this country. Cameras are everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Of course, with social media and technology, it is in other countries. Yeah, I get it. But here, you could go to a small village, and there are some gorgeous pictures of some elders, women elders that have wrinkles and everything, and there's no like, they don't feel inadequate. They say, hey, this just comes with life. Age is a part of life. Aging is a part of life, and this is who I am. And their grandmothers and their mothers, and you don't see them wincing when they see themselves on the camera. It's only here because we live in a society where it's always about beauty. Beauty is the key. You must have beauty. We put it at the forefront. It's the priority. Nothing else matters. And as soon as that just inches out of whack, out of the line of what we think is acceptable, we go crazy. That's what it is in this society, man. And I'm like, you know, I can't tell a woman what not to be. You know, I can't tell you what not to do to your own body. You and you alone were born into this world. You own your body. But then at what point do we just cross the line? Now, Nene Leakes, she did that to her face. She was just on the Breakfast Club that I saw, and I can't say I didn't lose a little bit, kind of like that respect from Lee, because I'm like, you messing with your face, you messing with your nose. Now, for black women now, we head into that department. We've had some issues. Okay? For the sisters. Now there's some issues, because now you have to bend to what are the beauty standards in Western society here in America. Of course, it has to be blonde and blue eyes. So you're surrounded in an industry where, of course, it's majority white folks, and now you have to bend to it, because it's already hard, first of all, to be a woman in the business. And now, as a black woman in the business, now you have to bend towards the beauty ideals of this land. And that's straightening your nose, it's putting blonde wigs, it's putting your eye contacts that are blue, and then, taking out your lips and, all these things. And now we start getting into the realm, and I have to say, the Jacksons. Michael Jackson is prime. I thought Michael was, as much as we love Michael Jackson, that we can use Michael Jackson as the shining example of, if we had money and inadequacy put in the same room, what would happen? When we have choice and options with our dollars, what we would do if we didn't have self-love. And I thought that we can say, you know what? We can love Michael, and we love everything that Michael contributed to music and to the world, but that's not what we want to be. And I thought hip hop was a part of that. I thought hip hop was rebellious in a way where, even for the female MCs, they would say, nah, we're not going to do that. I love myself. I love who I am. I love myself as hip hop was coming up in the 80s and 90s and in the 2000s. I'm loving myself. The whole world is copying what a woman is now. A black woman. What the black woman was being for so long. The thickness, the lips, the skin color, the hair, the attitude, the swag. Everybody in the world is following the black. So I figured, okay, listen, the influence is there. At this point, we're gonna be happy with ourselves, right? We won't go far anymore. But then Lil' Kim happens. Hey man, I gotta say it. I got to say it. Then Lil' Kim happens. Lil' Kim from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Biggie's right-hand woman that came into the game. You don't see Lil' Kim for a while. Lil' Kim comes back, and what do you see? Man, the pain in my eyes, the pain in my soul deep down when I saw that. Lil' Kim, what did you do to yourself? I thought we dealt with that with Michael. What are you doing? Where is the love? Where is the self-love? Where is no, I'm proud to be in my skin, literally and figuratively. I'm proud of who I am. I'm as rebellious as the spirit of hip hop. This is who I am. I'm Queen Bee. And then look at Lil' Kim, man. And you saw it online. You saw people making comparisons of before and after. And I'm like, we're still, as black people, dealing with our own inadequacies, inferiority complexes that have been inbred within us over the generations. And you see how it still creeps in. You see where we're still tangled in. And it loops us back into the fold of the history of this country, into the history of this country. And we have not separated. And I understand it, because when you're constantly barraged by the images and the videos and the comments and the social media and what it is to be beautiful, it's hard to fight it off. That's why I respect sisters that are out there that don't do the plastic surgery, that love who they are. Even if they do touching, they don't mess with their face. That shows their Africanness. You understand what I'm saying? To me, it's a slap in the face of the people that came before you, the generations. Now imagine if you as a father, a grandfather, and you can say you're immortal. All of a sudden you go down 4 or 5 generations and you see your kids, and that one warps their face to something else. Sammy Sosa warps their face to something else. And you would say, you don't love who you are? You doing this to yourself is an insult to me. You don't love me too? Because for you to do that to you, you're doing it to your ancestors. You have a problem, you will feel insulted. Why are you doing this to yourself? What is the problem? It's terrible, man. It's terrible. It is the heavy weight on our shoulders as far as what black women go through. Or black people go through, especially women. But now, when we step back out of that department, we go to women in general. The pressure that we put on women to remain beautiful, quote unquote, and young, and they have to force themselves to do this thing. They butcher their faces, and look what happens when they come out the other end. They're not the same people. Listen, hey. It is what it is, man. At a certain point, we cannot avoid age. And we have to, I think we got to rearrange that and put respect back into aging. All right? We're not, the times where we were in 20s and 30s and everything was tight and supple and fresh. Yeah, that's what happened at that point. Now we're in a whole different place now in our lives. We're 60 years old, 70 years old. It's not the same thing anymore. You are in a whole other field of your life. The whole other meaning. Right? Yeah, so we're going to get out of here. So we're going to switch up. There's only 2 segments this show. There's just a lot of information I don't want to give. And we're going to get into business of the week right now. And then right after business of the week, we are going right into Antonette. Her song is so good. Sorry it took a little bit to get this song on the show. It's just so many artists that I have to go through and see where it fits and where they fit. And sometimes it takes time. There's just a long list of artists that deserve to get their opportunity to get on the show. So sorry to the manager for getting Antonette on the show so late. But yeah, Antonette with her song So Good. Feeling she's got a video out too, so we're gonna check that out as well. So you know where to go to on the YouTube channel, Lyfeblood, Dark Sun Entertainment YouTube channel. So check out Antonette with So Good. All right, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, what up, girl?
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders. It's what you've been waiting for.
How many anime companies do you know of that is black owned? Not many, huh? On top of that, the company being located in Tokyo, Japan. The Art Shitagio, translation, the art studio, a growing company that has put its fingerprints on many anime projects over the years. Aso's anime commercial, Teflon Funk, an animated series. Sturgill Simpson presents Sound and Fury, which could be found on Netflix, plus many more. Started by 2 brothers, Arthel and Darnell Esom, it began in a small, cluttered room. Arthel gathered a few animators and set out on structuring the goals of the company. The company's ideology is to take off the meaning of the company's name, Shitagio, a Japanese painter's base, the background painting. The motto formulated from that is the foundation is important. It all boils down to the foundation when creating the storyboards or painting aspects of projects. The company provides the expertise, and you can come with the idea. From scripting stories right down to compositing, they can do it. The future is bright for this company. Have an idea for a compelling, sharp, and eye-popping anime story? The Art Shitagio is the place to be. Lyfeblood would like to salute the Art Shitagio for breaking the mold and flexing the art skills to bring the world the latest in anime action to the small and big screen. Go to the Art Shitagio, DartShitagio.com for more info.
Baby, you got me in a mood. Been staying up till 2. Just can't stop thinking about you. I think it's about that time we finally crossed that line. I really wanna make you mine. You want something special, heavy sentimental. I've been on cloud 9 with you. Even on our worst days, you never run away. Show me that you're here to stay. You're so good to me. So good to me. So good to me. Yeah, you're so good.
Listen up. Turn up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
So good to me, so good to me, yeah. If you ever need me, hit my line. Don't matter, rain or shine. I'll be there every single time. 'Cause I know you do it for me. You got whatever I need. Baby, you're so damn good to me. You want something special, heavy sentimental. I've been on cloud 9 with you. Even on our worst days, you never run away. Show me that you're here to stay. Never thought that I would ever need you. Can't imagine my life without you. Never thought that I would ever need you. Can't imagine my life without you. Never thought that I would ever need you. Can't imagine my life without you. Never thought that I would ever need you. Can't imagine my life without you. So good to me. So good to me. So good to me. You're so good. You're so good. So good to me. So good. So good to me. So good to me. Yeah. So good to me. So good. So good to me. So good to me.
Take control.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a Lyfer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Yeah, that was Antonette with So Good. Nice song, beautiful. Hey, like I said, man, Lewis, just shouting you out, man. Sorry it took so long to get Antonette on the show. But you know how it is. But lovely artist, and I can't wait to hear some more music, and I'll definitely play some more of her music in the future. So, you know what? Let's get into the new segment. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is crazy. She dropped out of the race, the Democrat, to be the Democratic nominee or the candidate to run. So we know from Super Tuesday how that went. We went into Super Tuesday. Who came out on top was Biden, Sanders, and who came in had seriously poor numbers, Elizabeth Warren. You know, I don't have a problem with Elizabeth Warren. I never had an issue with Elizabeth Warren. I thought she was a fantastic Democratic candidate. I thought she was on the track on putting this country back in a direction where it needed to be in all her talking points. I just liked her vibe. I thought she was the right person to be a president. But you know, and then of course people are gonna say, well, then how come you didn't back Elizabeth Warren? I don't know. I was leaning towards Bernie Sanders because of the fact that he has a history. I think because more the fact that there's evidence of Bernie Sanders' history of being on the right side of history. People were digging up pictures when he was marching with Martin Luther the King. I said Martin Luther the King. My bad. You know, watching it come to America. All right, so Martin Luther King. Yeah, you know, he was there, man. He was there all the time. That's why he's so unpopular in Congress, because he says the things that people don't want to hear, but we should be on. So I go by a person's actions and not by the words they say. Forget all the glamour and glitz and the talking points and at the podium and then at the questions asking. What have you done in the last 10 years while you have had this seat in Congress? Now, I'm not saying he did everything right, Bernie Sanders. But let's say 98% of the time he was on the right side. And I'm not saying Elizabeth Warren wasn't on her, but the fact that I see his work, Bernie. I just started hearing about Elizabeth Warren recently in the last couple of years. I'm like, all right, cool. And I know you can get who they are based on the legislation that they back and what they say, but I saw it in if Bernie did not exist, I would side with Elizabeth. So I already had my idea on who I was going, to back. I'm an independent. I can't vote in the primary, but who I was with philosophically, politically, and what kind of like put me in another direction right up to the last minute of the primaries when I found out that Elizabeth Warren took money. She has, I forgot what she took, $8 million or 10, I don't know. And Bernie doesn't take any money from anybody, nothing. He's straight for the people. So that kind of like tainted the water for me as far as Elizabeth Warren is concerned. I'm like, man, she took money. Shoot, the same thing I felt about Stacey Abrams. Is it Stacey Abrams? Let me see if this is right. Stacey Abrams, that she ran, and am I right? Stacey Abrams? Yeah, Stacey Abrams. All right. The same thing I felt about Stacey Abrams, where she was saying all the right things, saying she has a beautiful mind, right? Then I find out she took money from Bloomberg. I'm like, God damn it. It taints the barrel of water. It taints the water where we draw our life from. The whole thing, man. How can you not be influenced by that? They say, no, you can take money. It's two separate deals. But how can you not be influenced by that? Oh man. So I felt that with Stacey, but Elizabeth, but I want to get to the point. The thing is with Elizabeth is the fact that when the primaries finally happened, I saw the numbers come in. Biden was strong. Sanders was coming in. Biden wrecked shop. But why such the low numbers for Elizabeth Warren? I don't get it. She said all the right things. She was strong. She was very pointed. She didn't falter. I say, there's not too much things you could dig up on Elizabeth. I'm sure you can, like how you could do it with Bernie. But she stayed pretty much, within the lines of who she is, as what she says about herself. I thought she was going to come in at least, she would get stronger numbers, like, in the heading, Biden, Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Wow. It was going to be like neck and neck, and somebody was going to inch ahead, But the numbers, I'm like, what? Now, what are we dealing with here? Because she got such low numbers. What are we dealing with here? I think it's sexism, man. I think it's sexism right and raw. That America still cannot deal with a woman being in power. Now, I find that strange. As much as we talk about democracy and freedom and picking your leader, we still can't deal with it. There are other countries that have women as prime ministers, man. Germany has a woman prime minister, I think you call them in Germany. But yet we can't have one here? Come on, man. I can't say it any other way. If you have two candidates saying the same thing, but one is all the votes lean towards the male point, I'm like, what are we dealing with here? And I always go back to the same thing when it comes to racism, and that's education. Education and how we raise our children, our young adults, and how we are socialized as people in this country. That we cannot deal with women other than how we already see them on television. To be objectified, to be used as props, to be models, to be vixens. Yeah, you could be in Congress, but you got to play the back. You can't. I see it every day when I go about my business. I see it every day. When women are in power, in positions of power, they are not respected. I see it. Men don't listen to them. Men shoo them off. Men, of course, we go off on, I ain't listening to her, whatever. We curse at them. Yo, that's dealing with some strong, toxic masculinity, man. Inbred. That has never been dealt with. And as much as we say that we are forward in our thinking when it comes to gender balance, women should get the right equal pay, women in the workforce, yet I see it constantly when I look around. Men that cannot handle a woman in power. They can't handle it. And I see it. I'm like, damn, I'm witnessing this. I'm like, damn, I'm in the circle. I'm like, damn, bro, what's going on? What's up with y'all? Yes, if a man were to do it, I mean, it's gotten bad to the point where women in power or in high positions of power in the workforce, they literally got to email the male bosses in order to get a response or a request done by their equivalent, their male equivalent, or their male peer, or their male subordinate. They got to email other men in order to get stuff done. That is amazing to me. So you're going to disregard what this woman said. You just, as a subordinate, you like, yeah, whatever. And the thing that gets me is in that hierarchy, when it's brought to other men's attention, it don't get corrected. It's silently accepted. Silently accepted. So we all are part of the problem. We all are part of the problem. Look, if I'm the boss, I shouldn't have to have my subordinate that's a woman in mid-management have to contact me because this guy is not listening to her. Well, I don't want to hear that. You go ahead, do what you got to do. If it was me and somebody not listening to me, I'm going to do what's necessary. Why the hell do this woman has to contact her boss who is a male or someone on her level who is a male in order to get stuff done from her male subordinates? Amazing. The thing boils my blood, man. Because how far have we come if you're going to have women in the workforce, but they can't play their position? That's crazy. All right, so before we go into, we continue with this, I'm going to go because I'm breaking this up with Elizabeth Warren. I got to get into, you know how we got to do. You know what's coming up? You guys know what's coming up. The news you need to know. All right, let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
How to prevent the spread of COVID-19, right from the CDC.gov. How to prevent the spread of the disease. 1. Talk with people who need to be included in the plan in case there is an outbreak in the community. 2. Set a plan for those who might be at greater risk of the disease, such as the elderly and babies. 3. Talk to your neighbors about emergency planning. Join social media group pages for access to neighbors, information, and resources. 4. Identify aid organizations in the community for contact to information, healthcare services, support, and resources. 5. Create an emergency list to family, friends, neighbors, healthcare providers, the local public health department, and other community resources. For protection at work, actively encourage sick workers to stay at home. That's number 1. Number 2, separate sick employees known to have a respiratory illness from the group and send them home immediately. Sick employees should cover their mouths and noses with tissue or use elbow or their shoulder. 3, provide no-touch tissue receptacles for employees. 4, instruct employees to clean their hands with alcohol wipes with 60 to 90% alcohol or wash with soap and water for 20 seconds. 5, perform routine environmental cleaning. Clean surfaces in your offices and anywhere else where people go. And lastly, 6, advise employees traveling to take certain steps. Check the CDC's travelers' health notices for the latest guidance and recommendations for each country. Advise employees to check themselves for symptoms of acute respiratory illnesses before starting travel and notify their supervisor and stay home if they are sick. Ensure employees who become sick while traveling or on temporary assignment understand that they should notify their supervisor and should promptly call a healthcare provider for advice if needed. If outside the United States, sick employees should follow your company's policy for obtaining medical care or contact a healthcare provider or overseas medical assistance company to assist them with finding an appropriate healthcare provider in that country. Go to cdc.gov for more information on protection to the coronavirus. And that is the news you need to know.
Mankind, nigga. Known as the immortal motherfucker, I throw you through a portal. Yeah. Dr. Strange. Yo, check, killing them softly. Leave him with the blue face heartbeat. Offbeat, that screw face when Anita sings off-key. Mariah Carey tunes out the Nick Cannon scary moves. If we talking words, Nate be a man of few, but they demand the rude manners from the man who's too manic for the panic room. I smoke a gram of Snoop and wind up in Santa Cruz. Shotgun a can of brew. Shotgun some cannabis, sop up the Sailor Moon and try to duck the man's in blue. I'm in a Manson mood, Maryland, Charles Xavier on a gram of glue. Dr. Strange straight vanish you off of the planet to the land of Groove. One snap with the hand and proof. He told me lies, I demand the truth. I'm more than that, Naomi Campbell suit. In Wyoming, I ride portal. You guys know me, not Loki. This is Cyclops, Silo, Nairobi type glow. I am only my ghost, I ain't on the iPhone. Got teeth with a fine comb. Grinding up the limestone, harder than some diamonds. The fire grows, firing at the dying smoke. Black lungs was the diagnose. I got the cold to your safe, and I got the cold. I knock your soul out of place. I've been a diamond in the rough, but I probably got some gold in the safe. The whole globe finna shake. All my foes getting frozen in place. North Pole in his place. Poor souls cross over to grace. Nigga, Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange, nigga. Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange, nigga. Dr. Strange. I throw you through a pole. Yeah. Chad. Rock your brain like the penguin, rock the cane, chop a bang on you. This is not Harlem, this is modern day Gotham. Shit is not the same. Dr. Strange. Dr. Strange, nigga. Yeah. Lock the game, block a bang, mop the stain, stop the rain. Never not a main, clever, not insane. I'm just Dr. Strange. Yeah, Dr. Strange. Nate.
Stranger danger, strange bedfellows, balls deep before I even said hello. Hello kitty, it's the Cape Crusader. Ace of spade, I'm a space invader. In your face with the face evader. Hater, I'll choke you with the force. What's beef? I'll smoke you with the sauce. Sauce money, raw honey. Honey, I shrunk the kids, he was pumpkin pie, now he's pumpkin bisque into such a bisque. We don't die, we multiply, time zones, time stone fortified. In a fortnight, the fortune teller torched the sky. With Stargate, open portals, and we all alive. But everybody dies, that's a fact you can't escape, and everybody tries. Truth hurts, everybody lies. Closed caption, soul snatching. Told Thanos, thumbs up, nigga, no snapping. Mankind shit.
Rock your brain like the penguin, rock the cane, chopper bang on you. This is not Harlem, this is modern day Gotham. Shit is not the same. Doctor Strange. Yeah. Lock the game, block a bang, mop the stain, stop the rain. Never not a main, clever, not insane. I'm just Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Turn it up. GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, that was Keesh with Again, and we have Mankind Music Academy with their song Doctor Strange. Yeah, man, that was dope. I love that. It's a mix of rap and the love of comics. Yeah, that's what's up. So shout out to both of those artists. So yeah, amazing what we got to deal with, or what women have to deal with in the workforce. Now, if I can see that happening in the workforce, I see it. Imagine what Elizabeth Warren has to deal with when she is running to be the Democratic nominee to run for president. And how men in this country are responding to that. Now, the same way that the men are responding to women in the workforce that I see, witness firsthand, imagine what it is when you're in those voting booths. And that's all that it is. That is all that it is. And I blame it on education and how we socialize our people in this country. American citizens, males and females. Now, we are making strides. I do see it. I see it in the movies. I see it in the cartoons. We do see that. No longer we have the damsel in distress. Like, remember Crocodile Dundee? Yeah, any movies of the 80s, all right? The man is always saving the woman. Now the woman is saving the man. Now the woman is doing her own thing in the movies. Yeah, I like that. It's good because I have a daughter and I want her to see positive images of women that are pretty much being self-reliant, being the sheroes, being strong, taking those positions of power, because it's important to see that imagery. It's important to see that as that person looking at the big screen or the small screen, that you can be this. It's important to see those things. So when you see that with women in politics, it's sad to notice and sad to witness that as much that not to say this, look, we've had our progress, but we have a whole lot more to go. And it's simply not just having women in the room. It's simply just not seeing a woman at the conference table. There has to be men that have to deal with themselves, deal with their own patriarchy, deal with their own toxic masculinity, and understand there are women in power here, and you have to respect it. I think it's a great day for America when we can say, yes, Madam President. I think it would be a great day. And I would, without a problem, vote for a woman. I have no problem with this. It's funny how so many men deal with that. They cannot deal with that. Somehow they feel like they're giving up their power. And I never see matriarchy. I never see equality for women as taking power away from men. I never see it like that. I just see it as, hey, listen, man, there's a woman in the room. There's a woman in a superior position. It's what it is. It's no different from the myriad of other men that you've seen in the past that has been the boss, that's been the supervisor, that's been the owner of a company. I don't get that. And why we can't have a woman as president, it hurt my heart, man. It really did. I'm like, oh man, well, I already have who I would like to vote for. Blah blah blah. It's just sad to see, man. It's really sad to see. And at what point are we going to deal with that? At what point? And it's not going to be where you have to force a man and you've got to put the goggles on his head and you got to brainwash him or unbrainwash him in this sense and say, all right. I think men got to seriously deal with our own shit, man. Has nothing to do with people surrounding us and be like, and shaming us. It's we got to dig deep inside of us and say, what is the problem? What is the source of this quote unquote threat that is happening to us in the workforce, in politics, business, in all aspects of society? We got to deal with our shit, man. We got to lay on a couch somewhere. We got to talk to a counselor. And we got to unpack all that baggage that we have when we wince when we see a woman in power or when a woman is giving us orders. We got to deal with our shit, because I don't know how else that we can move forward as a society if we don't first deal with our own emotional baggage, the power that we must hold. I get it. Caveman days, I get it. Stronger, the better. If you're strong, you're right. Or what's that saying? The might makes right. Yeah. We all have our roles to play in society. All right. There are gender roles in society, the roles of the mother, roles of the father, roles of the man, roles of women. We see all these things. And this is not like, and it's not just America. This is not just a critique of America, but this is a critique of countries around the world. That we always try to put women in submissive roles. So this ain't about America. This is about men around the world, in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, and in any country. Now, there are matriarchal societies where women are respected, but we live in predominantly patriarchal societies where men are the rulers. Men are hold down the household and every other place. Women are silenced. In the Middle East somewhere, man. Women can't even drive in some places. They got the right to drive. I'm like, what is it to live in a country where, as a woman, you cannot drive? What is going on in a place where, because you do not have a penis, you cannot drive? How is that? That is crazy thinking, man. And these things that we put on women, it's about control at the end of the day. It's about control. That's all that it is. It's us feeling our ego. It's us feeling that we control not just our homes, but the lands that we walk on. That's all it is. It's about control. And because we don't have control other places, or for whatever it is, we have to control what we can control, that's in our homes. And that feeds our ego, especially when you're in a place where you're subjected to the isms in a society. But when it's not, and it's just you, like in the Middle East, it's just Arab people, it's baked into the religion. Socialization, even from religious means, it's baked into the society because of religion. And when we see women in submissive roles in the Quran or in the Bible or whatever it is, it comes out in a society. That's what I'm saying. Men has to deal with our shit. Not just men for ourselves individually, what we went through when we were children, but how the society forms, how the society operates based on previous generations, whether it's politically, socially, or from a religious background. I don't think we lose anything by doing that. So, that's my diatribe with that. So we're gonna get out of here. You know what? Oh man. So keep a lookout on what else is going on with New York Tech Day. Who knows? I hope it could be canceled. There's a lot of people that's canceling, or organizations and companies canceling their events because of the coronavirus. South by Southwest. You have a lot of movies moving their release dates down to the end of the year. A lot of different companies are pulling out because of the coronavirus, and I'm like, is this going to happen in New York Tech Day? I don't know, man. It's just crazy. So let's say that this thing is going to happen in April 23rd at the Jacob Javits, and we're going to be there. We're going to be there strong, and you're going to see Lyfeblood there doing their thing. Also, people sign up to Lyfeblood.com, please. You know what we're about. It's about connecting people on their passions and changing the world one choice at a time, based on how we move on the platform and how we're going to move offline, off the platform. It's about building a better society, a better way of living, and we're going to get there, and we're going to get there through Lyfeblood.com. So please sign up there. Shout out to all the artists that submitted their music. Looking forward to hearing even more artists in the future. And thanks for listening to me rattle on. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. All right, peace.
Check it. You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community. We worldwide, baby. See you in the next go round. From right here to your town, we out.